Hello, welcome to the virtual review of database. In this stage, we will apply the special tools of Access like reporting, create query, and design form. This for a timely decision making.
Special operations. Reports. A report is a result of data manipulation contained in one or more tables in a database, whether printed for or visually shown. It displays the information generated from a design defined to show and filter the data. There are several ways to elaborate reports, which can be generated from tables. Using connections. The report elaborated with relationships is based on the field defined as a main key, which the tables contain to generate these relationships. Open the Rent Movie database and the tables name, client, rent, and movies. Then you can use the database tool ribbon from the relationship group and the relationship command button. A relationship is a connection between the fields in the tables where information will be shared to generate the report. The design ribbon will be activated. In the Show Table window, click on each of the tables contained in the database. Tables will appear to continue with the design of relationships between them. If the main key is not activated in each of them, you must close the relationship document and activate the main key in each field required to elaborate the report. Building connections. Click on the name of the field of the first table and drag it to the name of the field of the second table. When you realize the button, the Modify Relationship window will appear. Activate the required referential integrity option to compare the relationship between the two fields of the two tables. In case you need to modify the field where you are going to establish the relationship, display the Fields menu of the table to be modified. It can be in the first or second related table. By clicking on the Create button, you will establish a one-to-one relationship that you can see on the Design ribbon. Various connections. To generate several relationships between the fields of several tables, use the same procedure to drag the field to the corresponding table and confirm in the window the fields you want to connect. To move the tables in the section of the document area to better observe the relationships that were established, You just click on the name of the table and drag it to a convenient place. Delete modify connections. To delete a relationship between two tables, click on the line and with the right mouse button, choose the Delete option. Access confirms that it will be permanently deleted, and the relationship line will disappear. To modify a relationship between two tables, click on the line and with the right mouse button, choose the option Modify Connections. Access will open the dialog box to select the fields of each table to leave the relationship established. Connection Report. To continue with your report, click on the Relationship Report command button in the Tools group. You will observe the following image in the preview. The relationship report will automatically display the date the report was created, as well as the name that Access automatically assigns to that object. After closing the preview, the report design view will appear as shown in the following image. Right-click on the name of Report 1 and select the Reports view to eliminate any connection between the fields of two or more tables. Use the Delete Design command button, which is in the Tool groups. Save a report of a connection. Access automatically assigns a name to the relationship report created. To save or change it, place the cursor over the name on the report, and with the right mouse button, select the Save option. A window will appear to confirm or rename the object. After saving the report, the name of the report you created with an icon different from the tables will appear at the bottom of the navigation panel. Elaborate a report. In the final part of the development of a report, you can give a format to it using the Design ribbon and the Group Design View topics. There, you can use the different command buttons and leave the report with a personal presentation before printing it. You have the option of using the preliminary presentation to observe and make the final adjustment. Report View. It is the type of view that Access gives when creating a report. To give a presentation, you must change to the Design view. Once you finish working on the report, return to the Report view to see the document. Design View. It is the type of view that Access provides to give a format to your report, and it consists of 4 areas, through which you can insert diverse elements of the control groups. Using the Assistant for Reports. You can also elaborate a report with the Create ribbon from the Reports group and the Report Wizard command button. You just have to select the fields in the tables using a series of steps. Click on the Report Wizard command button. A window will appear where you will select the fields of each table by double-clicking or with the button that shows in the window. This to integrate the fields of the report. A window will appear to define how the fields will be grouped in the report, that is, the layout for the position of the fields. In the following window, you will choose the field or fields in which you will sort the data that will be part of the report. Click to display and choose the field. Now you will define how the distribution of the field will look like in the report, and you will be able to choose the orientation of the document. At the end, a window will show where to place the name of the report you just created and the option to display its preview. The following image shows the report elaborated with the reporting assistant. You can give the report a presentation in the design view with the teams and control groups to leave it with a customized format. Using a blank report. One way to elaborate a report is by using the Create ribbon in the Reports groups and the Blank Report command button. It consists in selecting the fields in the table by clicking and dragging them into the presentation view, which we will explain below. Open the database and the table and click the command button Blank Report. The view of a document display will appear, which will be completely blank, and at the same time, on your right hand, the list of the fields you can select to integrate into the report. After dragging the mouse pointer on each of the fields of the document area, you can display the report as shown in the following image. Functions in the report. One of the advantages of elaborating a report this way is that you can include functions with the help of the design ribbon, the group, grouping and totals, and the command button totals. Select the fields where you will apply the function and then click on the totals command button and choose the function. You can modify the report with the Views and Layout view command buttons on the Layout ribbon in the Group Themes and on the Format ribbon Font group to leave it with the custom format. Using tags. Another way to elaborate a report is with the Create ribbon in the Group Reports and the command button tags. It is done by the selection of the fields in the table using a series of steps. Open the database and the table and click the Tags command button. In the first window, select the type of label that you will use to embed the embedded fields and generate the tag report. In this next window, you will choose the type, size, thickness, and font color to be using to create the labels. In this window, you will input the fields to be included in the tags. Now, you will define the fields that will serve to sort the labels, that is, under which field all the labels will be sorted. In the end, set the tag name for the report to be used, as well as the view in which the finished report will be displayed. In the report view, the labels will be observed as follows. If you switch to the design view, you can make modifications to the presentation of the labels, such as font type, font size, text height, highlight colors, etc. You can modify the label report in the presentation view, on the design ribbon, in the themes group, and on the ribbon format options, which is part of the font group. Queries. One way to modify the information contained in the database is by using a query, where you will visualize, modify, and select the data from one or more databases. Its most common form is selecting a table. Using Wizard for queries. It's possible to perform a query using the Create ribbon in the Queries group and the Command button Query Wizard. The procedure consists in selecting the field in the table using a series of steps that will explain below. Open the database and the table and click the Query Wizard Command button. A window will open where you can select the type of query to perform. In the next window, you can select the fields that will integrate the query. Double-click on the field that you want to add, or you can do it with the help of the button that is shown in the image. A window will appear in which you will design the name of the query and the type of view in which the query you just made will be presented. Once you create the query, you can give a custom presentation with the Start ribbon in the text format group. Using query design. Another way to make a query is with the help of the Create option in the Queries group and the Query Layout Command button. This option is based on the selection of the fields in the table using the design view, which we will explain below. Open the database and the table and click the Query Layout Command button. A window will be displayed where you can select the table in the database on which you will request the query, with the feature that will be mentioned. In the design view, you can observe at the top the two tables to be used. At the bottom, you will be able to select the desired field. Also, in one of the fields, you will be able to define which order the data will show as a result of the query. To have a better view of the consulted query, change from Design View to Datasheet View. You will be able to give a better presentation to a query by modifying the width of the columns. In the Design View table, you can disable the field column that will appear in the query. Click on the box that activates or deactivates it, and a shorter version will appear. Using the query design with parameters. This type of query consists of selecting the field using the Design View table and adding the field criteria that we will explain below. Open the database and the table and click the Query Layout Command button. A window is displayed where you can be able to select the database tables on which you will set the queries with the criteria characteristics that will be mentioned later. In the design view, you can see at the top the table to be used, and in the bottom, you can select the desired field. Also, you will define the field to view the order in which the data will appear as a result of the query. In the criteria section, you can set the values of the field that allows you to display the information that meets those parameters. This must be enclosed in square brackets. For example, in criteria section, type between 5 and 9, and it will show you the information contained inside the parameter. When switching from Design View to Datasheet View, two dialog windows will appear asking the start value and final value. Forms. There is another way you can modify the information contained in a database, and it's using the Forms option. With the Forms, you can design a graphical interface in a customizable way that will allow you to work along with the database. Using the Forms button. With the help of the Create menu, the Forms group and the Common Form button, open the database and the table and click the Form Common button. The following image will appear, which shows the presentation view table. In this option, you can modify the format of the form presented with the help of the Options ribbon format in the group font and number. Therefore, it will change the type size and font color, font background color, or text highlight color. After making the changes in the form, you can see them in the three different views. Form view. In this view, you can browse and observe each of the registers in the database with the button indicated. Presentation view. This view allows you to modify the attributes of the form elements, the fields, the field name, the background, etc. In the design view. In this view, you can modify the areas of the form header, details from footer, etc. Also, you can place the element of the control groups. Insert controls. Once the report is elaborated, you can add controls by using the Design option ribbon in the Controls group. There, you can use the different text box, command buttons, and labels. Besides, in the Header and Footer group, you can add, for example, an image with the logo, command button, a title, or the date and time. Logo. It is used to place any image in any area of the section of the document in the design view. Label. It is used to place a sign or text in any area of the section of the document in the design view. Navigation control. It is used in the navigation or operation of the form, and it is placed in any area of the document in the design view. You can modify it just as if you were using objects in PowerPoint. The buttons in the controls are embedded in the design view, meaning you can align, group, resize, modify, etc. For example, the following image contains control buttons that have been modified in the two views to observe their behavior.
Thank you for watching the virtual review of Database Stage 4. Please do not forget to answer the Nexus activities. Thank you.